Hi everybody, Fabrizio Grossi here, or Fab, like everyone likes to call me. I'm a bass player, I'm a music producer, and a video maker. I was born in Milan, in Italy, but I've been living in the States for a majority of my life. Uh, I'm also an avid user of Mark bass product. They have a few questions for me, so let's get right to them. Believe it or not, I started playing kind of late in life. I was almost 16. Back then, I moved back to my own town of Milan, and I reconnected with my friends from elementary school right after junior high. Uh, they were already playing instruments, and I didn't. But I wanted to hang out with them, so I ended up in buying a guitar and followed them at rehearsal practice and anytime they were getting together, um, till one of, I guess, the closest one to me told me, you know what, we already have 3 guitar players in the band, we don't need a 4th one, and you kind of suck at guitar, but we love you, so you should be playing bass, so you can hang out with us. And I'm like, what's bass? My music knowledge was really not the same. I love music, but I was not, like I said, I wasn't playing, I wasn't playing any instruments. And I was like, what's bass? This is, well, just like a guitar, but with 4 strings. And I'm like, wow, sounds easier. So I traded a guitar for a bass, and basically that's how I got started. And within a year, I was playing with a lot of local bands, while some of these friends of mine that relegated me to bass duty already gave up on music. So I had to be really, really, really thankful for the fact that they pushed me to pick up bass guitar, because that's what I've been doing for a living ever since. Oh my God, was an Italian-made Echo Bell. I don't even know if the brand still exists. Uh, I know that it was huge and incredibly heavy. It was 100 watts, had 2 speakers, and it was incredibly loud. I think it was probably made like in the early 80s, something like that. Fairly economical, and the reason why I got that amp is just because everybody else in the band had the little, combo and stuff for guitar, and we had a singer, and we didn't have a PA. That amp not only had an input for bass, but also had an input for microphones. Microphones for vocals, for microphones. And well, they said, hey, you know what? We can catch 2 birds with 1 stone. Just get that amp, you play bass, and Luca can sing into it. So basically, that's what it was. I don't remember how it sounded, but I was really proud because it was incredibly loud. Well, as a musician, I would say what excited me the most, or the episodes throughout my life of my music career that excited me the most. Uh, I know that I sound maybe corny, but every time that I get to music with somebody, I'm excited. And if I know the musicians that I'm gonna be working with, or they're gonna be playing with, and I'm familiar already with what this artist does, it's even more, because it creates that kind of anticipation that kind of like makes it really, really, really exciting. I would say in terms of rewarding, regardless of all economical benefits and all of that, I would say possibly my first record deal as a producer with Warner, back in 1997. The time that I signed that, after working with Steve Vai, that was a great achievement, because that was like basically 6.5 years after I moved to the United States and from Italy, and that was just like a major arrival point for me. The other one, of course, when I basically released my first record as me as an artist, with with my band, with Supersonic Blues Machine, and subsequently with Soul Garage Experience. Because don't get me wrong, I did, I don't know, couple of hundreds of records as a bass player, maybe a little less as a producer, but obviously because it would take more time to get a record done. And I was featured in a lot of these recordings, but one thing is like appeared on somebody's record producing or even playing, but in somebody else's band or ensemble. And one thing is something that you started on your own. So I would say when I was able to release the first Supersonic Blues Machine album and obviously my first Soul Garage Experience album, it was a great rewarding and exciting moment for me. But I would say one that I will never forget was when with Supersonic Blues Machine we played our second gig in Notodden, Norway, and I'm talking about 2017, 2016, something like that. That was our second show. I understand that our lineup was quite big with guests. We had Billy F. Gibbons playing with us, Robin Ford, Steve Lukather, and Walter Trout, together with our band. So of course, they gave us a very favorite spot. We were headlining, and which was kind of like a crazy, thinking about, that's your first record, your second show, and you're headlining a festival like that with 7,000 or 8,000 people. But the fact of the playing with all my friends that I already played with before, it was great, it was fantastic, but I don't think anything hit me as much as listening to the people in the crowd singing the lyrics of the songs, and most of the songs that I wrote. That was, to me, my heart was full of joy. I mean, it's just like hearing 7,000 people or 8,000 people or even 100 persons, if that's matter, just repeating the words that you word on it, knowing the meaning that you're giving to that particular song. That for me was priceless. I would say that these moments, together with everything else that has to do with making music and meeting great people and great artists, were probably, I would say, my top ones. My most important music collaborations. Well, to be honest with you, they're all important. I'm blessed to be a musician for a living, so anytime that I have the opportunity to play, to perform, or to produce somebody, is just a blessing, and there's always something there to learn. And I appreciate so much these people kind of like letting me deal with their own music, that it goes beyond the fame and fortune and all that kind of stuff. So for me, as far as important, all the collaborations are important. Were very important back then when I started playing, and still very important right now, that I continue playing. Of course, there are those collaborations that kind of like, they're like, I would say, career-defined collaboration, or they make your resume look good. So of course, and I cannot not mention, I would say, my person that inspired me the most, Steve Vai. But then again, Steve Lukather, Billy F. Gibbons, and oh my God, it's just Glenn Hughes, it's Slash, it's just like so many, Leslie West, of course, and there are so many great artists. Like I said, I don't really want to say, oh, this one better than this, better than that, because I got a lot from each one of them, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I wasn't able to get that much out of each one of the interaction that I had with these great musicians. So it doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter your status in the bank or in the top charts. For me, we're doing music together. That's as important as the previous one or as the next one. I discovered Mac Bass almost 20 years ago. From Los Angeles, I had to relocate to New York for a short year. Right around that time, obviously I kept in touch with a lot of friends of mine and colleagues from Italy. Um, a dear friend of mine, we also started off playing together, Mauro Denadai, who owns and runs a very famous Italian music store called Lucky Music Network in Milan, was telling me about this incredible Italian maker of bass amplifications, and I got really, really curious. And as soon as Mauro brought this brand to my attention, I started seeing this product and these amps around. Um, I guess, I think it was around NAM of that time, and I'm talking about probably 18 years ago, something like that. I ended up in meeting the Mark Bass family, Marco De Virgilis, and everyone that worked at Mark Bass back then. And I would say it was love at first sight. And, I've been playing Mark Bass ever since. Which Mark Bass model do I use? Oh boy, that's a long list. Like I said, I'm an avid user of Mark Bass product. I think I really do not know what's up where the Mark Bass factory is. Maybe it's something in the water, but every single thing that comes out of that place is just gold. Any idea, whether it's an amp, whether it's an accessory. Matter of fact, my main amp is this one, little Mark Tube 800. That's where I use all the time. I'm running it through an 810 cabinet, something custom that Mark put together for me. But I've been using a lot of other models. In addition, I'm still using a multi-amp to record. Studio preamp, I don't know why you guys stopped making it. This is like a signature model from my friends and colleague Paolo Costa. Amazing. I do not record bass without it, and all my friends and clients that playing bass ended up in going through this thing, and they just cannot believe it. But also in the digital world, I'm an avid user of Mark Bass plugin, Mark Studio 2 by Overloud. I always use it for my mixes and all of it. So, and let's not forget pedals. There are two pedals especially that are I cannot do without it. Is the bass compressore, as we say in Italian, which is for me is the best compressor ever made, period. Regardless, bass, guitar, vocals, it's just an opto compressor, and it's just the way it works is fantastic, and it works fantastically on everything. I'm running lines out of the mixer, and I'm using it in mixes too, just to tell you. And then of course the bass synth. Once again, I do not know what did they do with that, what was the technology that went into it, but every time I turn that thing on, everyone that I'm playing with are going like, what the hell? In a good way, of course. Well, here's the thing. Like just often, or maybe not too often, if you're not a blessed person, and I guess I'm really lucky when it comes to that. You get to encounter people that are so genuine, so kind, and so dedicated to what they're doing, whether they working in the entertainment, they work in music, they work in movies, or they are chefs, or they are a construction worker. And for my first encounter with the Mark Bass family, and with Marco and Marco De Virgilis and Riccardo Damiani, everyone else in the team, I saw basically a family. I don't want to sound cliche or corny saying that. It's just like these guys live and breathe what they do. When they ask me, hey, why do you think about that? It's just not because, anything special. It's just really want to know what my thoughts or what everyone else of the users' thoughts are regarding a specific instrument. And that's the care and the love that goes into the product. That's, for me, it's paramount. Means that if you have that much love and passion for what you do, it must be good. And it shows, because I haven't tried one Mark Bass thing yet that sucks. In addition, what really amazed me about the company is the constant need to come up with some new shit. Can I say shit? I guess. Sorry guys, I hope nobody gets offended. It's just the fact that every single year or every few months, that crazy genius mind of Marco, it comes up with something that is an addition to what he's already doing, or a perfection addition to what he already made. And it just, like I said, I really do not know what happened. I do not know what they eat, if it's the water, if it's whatever, divine blessing. But it's just that the continuous evolution of the company and the quality of the product and the love that the Mark Bass team and family has for what they do, that make them really special. I'm so proud to be part of that family.